Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to see about FSSAI licensing procedure, standards and guidelines for manufacturing of puffed and flaked rice. So what is FSSAI? FSSAI stands for Food Safety Standards Authority of India, which is an organization that monitors and governs the food businesses in India, established under the Food Safety and Standard Act 2006, which we can also call as FSS Act, which is a consolidation of different statutes related to food safety and regulations. It ensures that the food products undergo quality checks, thereby the food adulteration and sale of substandard foods will be curtailed. According to the Food Safety and Standard Act, it is mandatory for every food business operator to register or to obtain a license for their food businesses. So why there is a need of FSSAI registration? Every food business operator involved in manufacturing, processing, storage, distribution and sale of food product must compulsory obtain either FSSAI registration or licenses. After obtaining registration or licenses for their food business, the registration or license is a 14-digit number which is printed on all the food packages. The 14-digit registration number gives details about the assembling state producer's permit. Depending upon the kind of business, you may need to obtain a FSSAI registration certificate or license for your food business. If your turnover is more than 20 crore, your business will be considered as large food business and you need to obtain a central license. If your turnover is between 12 lakhs to 20 crore, your business will be considered as medium food business and you need to obtain a state license. If your turnover is less than 12 lakh, it is considered as a petty food business or a small scale food business and you need to only obtain a basic registration for your business. Let's see the procedure for basic registration. First, you need to apply for your food business with filling a application form A and you have to pay a registration fee of about 100 rupees. Then the application will get processed and you will get notified about whether your registration has been granted or rejected. This has to be done by the food authority within 7 days of receipt of your application. Again, the food authority may also issue a notice for inspection of your food business. So, after inspection of your food business, your registration will be either granted or rejected. And this has to be get done within a period of 30 days. So, you will get your registration granted within 30 days of your application. If you don't get any response from food authority, you may start your food business as it is. Now let's see the procedure for obtaining a license for your food business. Just like registration, you also have to file an application and you have to fill a form B, and you have to also upload required documents, and you have to pay the respective fee for your kind of business. Once you apply for the license, you will get an unique application number which you can use for further information. After filling all the required information, you will get this unique application number. If there are some additional information required by the food authority, your application will be marked as incomplete application. You have to respond to this incomplete application and you have to fill all the details required. Then, after filing the full application, the authority may notify an inspection of your premises. Then, after inspecting your premises or your food business and looking at the inspection report, the food authority may either grant or reject your application for obtaining the license within a period of 30 days. If there is a no response from food authority, you can start your food business after 30 days of your application. Again, if you are not responding to the food authority with respect to the incomplete application, or if certain things are suggested during the inspection, the food authority may give you improvement notice. If you are still not showing any improvement, the license may get suspended, and still if you are not showing any improvement in your activity, your license will get cancelled. After only 90 days, you will be able to apply afresh for obtaining a license for your food business once it is cancelled. Here in this chart, you can see the fee structure that you need to pay for certain activities. If you want to file a new application for registration, the fee is only ₹100. If you want to obtain a central license for your food business, the fee is about 7,500. If you want to obtain a state license, the fee may range from 3,000 to 5,000. If you want to renew your application, the registration, then it is ₹100 fee. If you want to renew your central license, it is for 7,500. You have to renew your application within the validity of your previous license or registration. The validity of FSSAI license and certificate is of 1 year or 5 years. You can also have some modifications in your license or certificate, and you can do it by applying for modification by paying the respective fee. You can also obtain a duplicate license or certificate by paying 10% of applicable certificate fee. Let's see what is modification of FSSAI license. Food business operators are required to report any changes in the businesses to the Food Safety and Standard Authority of India within a reasonable time. Any changes related to the kind of business, scale of production, product category or formulation should follow the regulations. Once the FSSAI license or registration has been granted, any change required in the same requires filing application for the modifications of FSSAI license or registration. Your license or registration will be in a format which is shown in Form C. Next is renewal of FSSAI license. The Food Safety and Standard Authority of India license is essential to commence the food business. Similarly, it is imperative to renew the license also. The license is issued for a validity of 1 year or 5 years. So the business must apply for renewal of their license 30 days prior to the expiry of current license. You can utilize the FOSCOS. Previously, the system was named as FLRS for obtaining the license or registration. There are 5 regional offices where you can apply for obtaining registration and license, and they are: for northern region it is located at New Delhi, for eastern region it is located at Kolkata, for northeastern region it is at Guwahati, for western region it is at Mumbai and Kerala, and for southern region it is at Chennai. This is the web page of FOSCOS system, which is nothing but Food Safety and Compliance System. If you go to the registration link, you will get on this web page where you can log in your business and you can apply for obtaining registration and license. To obtain a license or registration for their food businesses, food business operators should comply with the standards and guidelines which are laid down by Food Safety and Standard Authority of India. You can find these standards and guidelines under the regulation called Food Safety and Standards, Food Product Standards and Food Additives Regulation 2011. Under these regulations, in point 2.4.6, standards and guidelines for manufacturing of cereal and cereal products are given. In case of rice, the rice shall be the mature kernel or piece of kernel of Oryza sativa obtained from paddy as raw or parboiled. It shall be dry, sweet, clean, wholesome and free from unwholesome and poisonous substances. It shall also conform to the following standards. The moisture content should not be more than 16% by weight, which is obtained by heating the pulverized grain at 130 to 133 degrees Celsius for 2 hours. The foreign matter should not be more than 1% by weight, of which the mineral matter should not be more than 0.25%, and impurities of animal origin should not be more than 0.10% by weight. The damaged grains should not be more than 5% by weight. Beveled grains should not be more than 10% by count. Uric acid should not be more than 100 milligrams per kg. Aflatoxins should not be more than 30 microgram per kilogram. All these impurities should not be present in the prescribed limits, provided that the total of the foreign matter and damaged grains shall not exceed 6% by weight. The Act has also given some guidelines regarding contaminants, toxins and residues. Under the Food Safety and Standards, Contaminant, Toxins and Residues Regulation 2011, the point 2.3.1 gives an information about restriction on the use of insecticides. The expression insecticide shall have the meaning assigned to it in the Insecticide Act 1968. Subject to the provision of clause 3, no insecticides shall be used directly on article of food, provided that nothing in this regulation shall apply to the fumigants which are registered and recommended for use as such on articles of food by the registration committee constituted under section 5 of the Insecticide Act 1968. The insecticides specified in column 2 of the table shall not exceed the maximum residue limit, which is MRL, prescribed in column 4 of the article of food specified in column 3 of the said table. This table tells about the residues of insecticides and their tolerance limit. The first one is carbaryl and the food source is rice and the tolerance limit is 2.50 milligram per kg. You can also consider it as 2.50 ppm. The next insecticide is hexachlorocycle hexane and its isomer, that is alpha isomer and beta isomer. If the rice grain is unpolished, the tolerance limit is 0.10 milligram per kg, and in case of polished rice grain it is 0.05 milligram per kg. Again, in this slide you can see different contaminants and pesticides with their concentration, which should be checked in the article of food product. Again, in this slide you can see few more contaminants and pesticides with their residual concentration, which should not be get exceeded. To manufacture a safe and wholesome food, every food business operator should follow general hygienic and sanitary practices so that there will be an implementation of food safety in the manufacturing industry. In the Schedule 4 of Licensing and Registration Regulation of Food Safety and Standard Act, sanitary and hygienic requirements that to be followed by food manufacturer, processor or handlers are given. We will see those requirements one by one. The place where food is manufactured, processed or handled shall comply with the following requirements. The premises shall be located in a sanitary place and free from filthy surrounding and shall maintain overall hygienic environment. All new units shall set up away from environmentally polluted areas. The premises to conduct food business for manufacturing should have adequate space of manufacturing and storage to maintain overall hygienic environment. The premises shall be clean, adequately lightened and ventilated, and sufficient free space for movement should be provided. Floors, ceilings and walls must be maintained in a sound condition. They should be smooth and easy to clean with no flaking paint and plasters. The floor and skirted walls shall be washed as per requirement with an effective disinfectant. The premises shall be kept free from all insect. No spraying shall be done during the conduct of business, but instead fly swats or flaps should be used to kill spray flies getting into the premises. Windows, doors and other openings shall be fitted with net or screens as appropriate to make the premises insect free. The water used in the manufacturing shall be potable, and if required, chemical and bacteriological examination of the water shall be done at regular interval at any recognized laboratory. Continuous supply of potable water shall be ensured in the premises. In case of intermittent water supply, adequate storage arrangement for water used in food or washing shall be made. Equipment and machinery, when employed, shall be of such design which will permit easy cleaning. Arrangements for cleaning of containers, tables, working parts of machineries, etc. shall be provided. No vessel, container or other equipment, the use of which is likely to cause metallic contamination which is injurious to health, shall be employed in the preparation, packaging or storage of food. Copper or brass vessels shall have proper lining. All equipments shall be kept clean, washed, dried and stacked at the close of business to ensure freedom from growth of mold, fungi and infestation. All equipments shall be placed well away from the walls to allow proper inspection. There should be efficient drainage system and there shall be adequate provision for disposal of refuse. The workers working in processing and preparation shall use clean apron, hand gloves and headwears. Persons suffering from infectious diseases shall not be permitted to work. Any cuts or wounds shall remain covered at all time and the person should not be allowed to come in direct contact with the food. All the food handlers shall keep their fingernails trimmed, clean and wash their hands with soap or detergent and water before commencing the work and every time after using toilet. Scratching of body parts, hairs shall be avoided during food handling processes. All food handlers should avoid wearing false nails or other items or loose jewelry that might fall into food and also avoid touching their face or hairs. Eating, chewing, smoking, spitting and nose blowing shall be prohibited within the premises, especially while handling the food. All articles that are stored or are intended for sale shall be fit for consumption and have proper cover to avoid contamination. The vehicles used to transport food must be maintained in good repair and kept clean. Foods while in transport in packaged form or in containers shall maintain the required temperature. Insecticides, disinfectants shall be kept and stored separately and away from manufacturing, storage and handling areas. So this is all about food safety requirements that every food business operator should follow while processing of puffed and flaked rice. Thank you.